The thing about Kenny that you can tell immediately, like the energy is absolutely incredible.
As well as being an incredible friend, an incredibly loyal friend, a beautiful business partner. This past 3 years of working with you is easily the best part of my life.
He's incredibly creative.
And Louis went straight into like hunter-gatherer man mode. Are we mad?
Are we in over our heads?
Like, you are enough, right?
Welcome to Awaken the Ripple, the podcast that provides practical tips through real and honest conversations to help you unlock your purpose, ignite positive change within you, whilst empowering you to create ripples of impact throughout the world. Today, for this episode, Doing It Together, I'm in Manchester and I'm joined by the dynamic duo, Kenny and Louis, who are the people behind Humans and Algorithms and the creators of Punks of AI on YouTube. They're here to tackle some of the questions that is facing us like right now. How do humans and algorithm work together to unlock possibilities? But we're not here to talk about technology. Well, probably a little bit of technology, but not so much. We're here to talk about partnership, trust, and shared ambitions, and what it looks like when two people come together to create something special. So, welcome, Kenny and Louis.
Thank you. Great to be here.
Yay! So basically, for the audience, I met Kenny and Louis probably well over a year ago. Okay, correction. I was fangirling from the audience because we worked at a media agency together, and at that point in time, they had employed a new platform which was underpinned by AI. And Kenny and Louis were there to help drive the agency to empower, to embrace AI. But what struck out to me wasn't just the technology. Technology was great, but it was this dynamic duo. It was the energy. They helped to bring the human side of AI, if that even makes sense. They really helped in making AI fun and magical, childlike. So basically, when I found out that they had created their own thing together, it made a lot of sense. Which leads me to my very first question, Kenny and Louis. What triggered you guys to build this thing together?
Yeah, what did trigger it, Louis?
Yeah, well,
Louis tried to leave me. I'm not going to lie.
I tried desperately to get rid of Kenny. He kept hanging on. No, the thing is, it actually started about 3 years ago, maybe even more than 3 years ago.
Okay, yeah.
So I think the thing that triggered it was when we'd worked together. We were part of the senior leadership team at the media agency, you said, and we worked on projects and various client work. But then we'd independently both fallen in love with AI, and we're just struck by just the magic of what it was going to do.
Yeah.
And I think we were independently having conversations with other people around us, or other co-workers and friends. Are you seeing this amazing AI thing? Are you seeing it? And I only got the same reaction back from Kenny.
Blank stares from everyone else
that I was having. So it was almost for me immediately that we just we went on this journey together.
Yeah.
And it was 3 years ago. We said at some point we need to go and do amazing things with AI. But
not in the beginning though, was it? It was just like little. It seems crazy now when I think about it, 3 years later, and that first conversation. I think it was in the meeting room down there. Like first conversation when it's like, if you used AI, and he's like, what? And then that one sentence together started like this crazy love affair for technology, love affair for people.
Yes.
That's always been the overriding thing for us. It
Exactly.
is the love of people, the love of creativity, and then I think just an absolute love of working together, really.
A little bromance.
We just had no idea. It's more than a bromance, it's a marriage. A marriage.
bro-marriage?
Bro-marriage. Okay, so Louis, what does Kenny bring to the table that is super important for you?
I think I'm punching balls. if this is a relationship, anyone who knows Louis knows what an absolute legend is. I feel like as a husband, I am definitely punching Louis.
He's too kind. The thing about Kenny that you can tell immediately, like the energy is absolutely incredible. You know, so Kenny is, he has an obsessive personality, but in a great way. You know, when he sets his mind on something, you know, he doesn't stop, won't sleep. You know, I'm also, guilty of I'd be working around the clock if I'd be getting excited about something we're doing, and I'd be having conversations with Kenny at the early hours, of the morning. Where, we'd all be incredibly excited. So the energy is one thing, but the other thing, and I think AI has been amazing for Kenny. Kenny's incredibly creative, and Kenny will push the boundaries, and I absolutely love that. And I think you found the best vehicle because you had a very serious senior role looking after a lot of people, but I think his creative talent was probably wasted in that. And so actually I think now that Kenny's found an outlet where actually he can push, and he's got this, through the tools. I think you've proven that you can do literally anything that you can set your mind to. So that I think is incredibly powerful, and so I work really, really well with Kenny because he pushes me.
I think
that's
so different and so much the same, really. It's so weird.
So it's energy and the creativity that you see in Kenny.
Absolutely.
I love that. And Kenny, for you, what is it that you see in Kenny that helps you?
In Louis.
Yeah, in Louis. Sorry.
What did I can talk about myself.
You just merged it to one.
Can I talk about myself for a bit?
Kenny, what do you see in Louis?
Oh God, how long have we got? Do you know what? I started working with Louis about 8 years ago, and I think from the moment I met him, he's just such a warm, caring guy. He cares about people, he cares about things, and he only ever wants to help others. Sometimes to a fault, in my humble opinion, because he's just so invested in other people, and I instantly connected with him. I also thought straight away that there was so much that I could learn from Louis, the way that he organises people, the way that he brings teams together. Like at the time, Louis spent the past 4 years of 8 years really becoming like a taekwondo master of agile and agile ways of working. A lot of their practices that Louis kind of deploys on a day-to-day, but very few people ever do actually, and with that discipline, and it does bring teams together, and it excites them, they feel connected, and I think anyone that works with Louis knows that their contribution is always going to be felt and heard.
100%.
Which for me as a massive talker, I love talking more than anyone else. It's always 90% Ken, 10% them, but with Louis it's the other way around, which is why it kind of
do a lot of nodding.
Yes.
He does do a lot of nodding.
Yes, Kenny, that is correct.
But more recently, I'm not going to lie, he is an incredible AI engineer. What Louis can do as a single man, he can vision, design, engineer, test, and deploy enterprise technology. So bear in mind, he's not coded for the best part of 15 years probably, right, hands-on, and he built an enterprise platform that took 8 engineers the best part of 8 months to recreate.
Wow.
And Louis built on his own, right? And his passion, he's up till 3 in the morning. I get up in the morning, I always look at GitHub to see what Louis been releasing. My biggest mission now is make sure that he sleeps, to be honest. And he takes any rest. He doesn't. 3 o'clock in the morning every night. Psychopath, really, when it comes to it. But he is a phenomenal technologist, and he builds human-centered technology, I think, in a way that only a real true empath could do. And engineers don't have that, right? Because they are about deploying a tech or deploying a design.
Well, thank you, mate.
Oh, that's cute.
As well as being an incredible friend, an incredibly loyal friend, a beautiful business partner. The best part of this past 3 years of working with you is easily the best part of my life. Can never be more grateful than having an opportunity to work together.
The love that I'm feeling on this sofa.
100%.
Oh, that's so cute. So from Louis, you got the people side of things and just an ultimate technologist. Amazing. So together, you all are like the dynamic duo. You all are, tell me more about humans and algorithms and what that has now unlocked for you guys now that you all are working solidly together.
It gave us some space today. Yeah, when we left, so humans and algorithms is really based on the things that we learn from training the 40,000 people at WPP on it, which is you have to be able to, as a business, connect as a leadership team and get a top-down strategy in place, right? If you just try and rely on a bottom-up culture to kind of swell and so on and override the business and a culture just to accidentally form, then you're onto an island for nothing, really. So I think we learned very quickly, actually, that leadership, being engaged and leading from the front was very important. So that was like we knew we needed consultancy in humans and algorithms, so we wanted that in place and help leadership teams. And then I think, the second part is punks of AI in it. We've worked with many people, right, that are doctors of AI, and they've done it for 20 years, and they're all going on now saying about, you've got to have agents have got to be monitored, and they talk about, but the truth of it is like 99.99999% of the population, right, has suddenly got this mad alien technology now, right? And it's kind of like, just because they haven't spent 20 years studying it doesn't mean they can't be legitimate experts in that technology. They know their workflows, they know their practice. And so punks of AI is the recognition of the fact that we're all punks of AI, right? We haven't got a clue what we're doing.
We don't have a clue.
And it's kind of like punk music and punk rock, right? I bet there were people like classical musicians or anyone that was like people that thought they were music artists, and then all of a sudden you've got these crazy rock bands and punk rock bands doing what the hell they want, not giving a shit about everyone else, but did make music and did change culture, right? And I think we want to unlock that in people, that creativity, and to do so without feeling like you have to have spent 20 years earning the right or have a doctorship or anything else. It is about exploration and just being bonkers with it, really. The weirder you are with AI, the better it is, in my humble opinion.
100%.
Because it's much more than just a tool, and sometimes people just think, okay, the easiest thing, we'll give everybody a Microsoft Copilot license and our AI transformation work is done. And so the thing that we try to do is just get businesses to recognise, get people to recognise that it's more than just taking on some new tools and tech. The business is going to go through a cultural change.
100%.
Because the way that we've done things is now, irreversibly changed, and I think for the better. It can make someone that has never done, maybe someone that's never created, a beautiful photograph or image or wonderful artifact. But it's amazing new capabilities we've never had. So now we've got more people that can do more things that they've never done. What does that mean for a team or for a workplace? And and the thing is, for me, it's like a wonder. It's amazing. And so teams have got to navigate that. And then for businesses, they've got to find, okay, well, we've got to translate that wonder into like business value. Absolutely. We're going to go through all that change. Business has to see it's going to change their margins, change their growth for the better, and so our humans and algorithms was there to help them on that journey, really, and steer them in the right direction.
So it's not necessarily, especially as it's such a big topic right now, where everyone seems very resistant to it. They want to embrace it, but resistant because they're thinking AI is here to take our jobs, right? So it's how have you been navigating that space? Because from the both of you all, I get the fun, the creativity that you can really get from out of AI, or automating part of your role that has been like quite manual. But how do you help in bringing that cultural shift that you spoke about to businesses, that it's not just literally us removing 20% of the people who are in this business. We're upskilling them. We're giving them new tools to do something better.
I think upskilling's a major part of it, right? I think a lack of fear comes from the unknown, I think. And if you've got this technology that's living there in an organisation, everyone's talking about it, and you just can't get your head around it because someone hasn't taken the time to genuinely sit with you, think about you, and then create training and learning and systems that help you to develop this kind of new skill that we're all going to need in the new world order. And I think for us, it starts with the basics straight away. The first thing that we ever do for anyone is go set your personal settings up, right? Go and say, what is your name? What do you do? What is your mission? And then the moment you go to the chat, in any platform actually, and you go, who am I? What do I do? Existential question, of course. And how can you help me in my role? AI instantly then gives them a whole smorgasbord of all the ways that it can help.
Yeah.
And then what we've learned is like, don't make assumptions, right? So it might do some people's heads in that come on our training, could train with us, because they might be like, we call them like level 5 icons, and they use all the tools, and they're using like Claude Code, and they're total experts. But actually the other 99% of folk in there, I've probably never uploaded a document and said, what can I do with this context, right? They've probably never used the microphone to talk to it because it's faster and a better way to get context, because no one's ever taken the time to explain that their weirdness and their human nature is what makes AI special, right?
100%.
And the most average thing in the world is made beautiful because of our flaws and human nature, and I think, teaching people to get that into it. And then back to your point is like, when people suddenly connect with the fact that we're teaching them to say, actually, you are what makes AI special, and we teach them how to make it special, and then develop the craft. I think everything changes then. And then the only other bit is find the magic moment. So if everyone has a problem, an anxiety, a fear, a concern, something that slows them down, keeps them awake at night. And I think if you do go slow and you teach everybody about all the features, that somebody through a session will find the thing that makes them sing at work, right? The thing that stops them feeling freaky on a Friday because they're worried about coming in on a Monday, or the thing that makes them like become totally introspective and lose the confidence because they don't have the tools around to do it. So if you can find those things for them as well and teach them the basics, generally something magic happens.
And there's a good point about automation, actually. So a lot of people actually just maybe misunderstand AI, that it is about automation. And you can use AI for some automation, but in practice, for most people in their roles, there's very little of it that can be truly completely automated. So the role of AI is more about augmentation, and so we use AI as a thought partner, as a way to trigger some ideas, as a way to finish off the thing that you've started, a whole host of other things. And then what you find is actually AI is better, it's amplified by you, or it amplifies you, and you give it your knowledge, your experience, your wisdom, and that's actually what makes it stand out and not be generic. So so if people are worried, actually, will AI take my jobs? Well, no, because AI by itself is vanilla.
100%.
It needs the intelligence of a human.
It needs the essence of a person.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And one of the tips that I got from watching one of your episodes, because I've done like all of the settings behind the scene on Awaken the Ripple, but one of the tips that you recommended was almost linking all of the documents on the back end. So I felt that has been game changing for me. So I have, as you can imagine, I'm a very structured person, so I have like Google Drives that talk about like the mission of Awaken the Ripple, how often it goes out, everything. So I'm able to link it on the back end, and I can literally ask it a host of questions, and it's referencing those documents. It's almost like an extended mind for me. It's an extended mind. It's my mind.
It's you in the documents, and then AI uses that to
an enhanced
reflect you.
Mind, which is great.
We have an equation, don't we? Which is actually stuck, to be honest, which is 25, 50, 25 in it. So 25%, this is how you get magic out of AI. So 25% is what you put in it, right? And how you choose to get something in it. There's millions of different ways, and the photos of things might be workshops, your thoughts, a 1 hour transcription of all the things that terrify you about your life, your hopes, your fears, your own DNA, right, comes through in your voice and your words and the things that you say. It could be, to your point, a folder through beautiful words and documents that you've written, right? Or it could just literally be typing for hours. But the more you put in, the richer AI will be as a result of it. Another trick is tell it to use your words. Like I always say to it now, like try not to smooth my words. I want them in there, even if I'm a high profanity man, right? I love a profanity. So
true.
Unless it's like a professional thing, keep in the F word.
You've done well, you've not sworn once.
You know what, I nearly said it. I'm doing I'm on my best behaviour.
Well done. Thank you.
So 25% about get your magic in, and that could be in folders, documents, and then 50% is AI doing its like amazing, intelligent job connecting the dots and predicting what your magic should look like at the end.
Love
and then
that.
the final 25% is editing, refining, like getting that shot, get the microphone hit, and you scroll up and down, and I want to change that. Most have got inbuilt editors now to change sections and type to change it, move this, whip that in. That does not sound like me anymore. Like I would not use that word in a million years. Get it edited, and then you will have created something. Actually, I generally find quite moving and powerful. So that would be my recommendation to anyone that's going bonkers with slop at the moment. You have to put that effort in.
And also, we need to do that because right now, a human needs to own the final output.
100%.
Let's say we're working for a client and we're producing a strategy. You know, they need to know who has that come from. So AI could help, but with no one right now that I know is delivering a strategy to a client and say, this has come from our AI platform. You know, pick up your feedback with the AI platform. Of course, it's still owned absolutely by humans. So a human is critical at the start, let the AI do its thing, and then Kenny says owning it at the end, definitely.
Well, if we, do you know the mad thing, if you want to do a little experiment, if everyone just goes on to ChatGPT and ask it to generate you a random, use the same phrase, generate me a random number, then start a new chat and ask it to generate a random number, then ask it, new chat, generate a random number. 9 times out of 10 it will be exactly the same number.
Would it?
100%, yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm going to try that when I go home.
And it's the most beautiful expression of just how average AI can be if you don't make it weird.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay, so I love that equation. You said 25% is your magic.
Make it weird.
Yeah, make it weird.
Make it you.
50% it will be utilizing the AI, and then the other 25% is editing it, because ultimately it needs to be you. It needs to be your true essence when you're delivering any sort of like output.
It'll always flatten it out. It always smooths it out. The last bit is put the spike back in.
Okay. Are there any sort of like major tips that you would give to someone like right now when it comes to utilizing AI? So I know you spoke about putting the settings or editing the settings behind the scenes, using the microphone. We talked about linking like any documents. Is there like any game-changing kind of things?
Ask it to create a plan. But joking aside, like any job you ever do with AI will always be better if you tell it what you want and ask it to play back a plan and then refine its plan and then get it to crack on. To be fair, I learned it because Louis codes a lot, and when coding with it, you taught me actually that getting it to create a plan first and having a conversation about it before it does its work actually again generally will improve the outcome. So and it's we worry a bit about, everyone's like, I'm not a prompting expert, right? You don't need to be a prompt, you just need a good plan. And if you say to it, right, I want to do this is a job, this is my workflow, this is my task, you could say, how can you help me, but create a plan, what would you do, and then refine it and then ask it to crack on, and that way it overcomes any prompt like genius behavior that you need to have. Actually, you can kind of do that. Ask it, use AI to be better at AI. I think will always be the one. Like any tool, as long as you put your personal settings in, it's got context of you and what you do. But you can, like, if you're in ChatGPT or Claude or anything else, if you just go in and go, this is what I do for a job, these are the things that I do, these are the challenges that I face, talk to me about all the tools that you have in your armory. If you ask it all the tools, and it's brilliant at giving you everything that you need to go, right? It just makes it a bit more real, doesn't it?
And the thing we do all the time, if you're stuck, let's say, actually I want it to create, maybe I want it to create like a specific image in a certain style, and I don't know how to prompt it correctly, what should I ask for, and you just tell the AI, tell the AI that, I want to create this image, can you tell me how I should best be prompting to ask for that? And so you just, anything that you don't know what to do with it, you just ask it and it will tell you how best to work with it. So that is that's a golden tip.
What else have I got? Ask it bonkers questions.
Ask it bonkers questions.
The reason we've learned so much about AI was because we've always tried to drive it beyond its limits, haven't we? So like, when we first started, I was like, Louis, I put a spreadsheet in, look at this crazy shit. It was like, whoa, and it do that, or it's like now we have our own platform, don't we, Holly? And I'm always trying to drive it to the edge of its limits, and we don't know what the bloody thing can do, right? And no one's going to teach us about it. So just get it on your phone. That's the other one. It's like, if you just test in, experimenting, it's quite helpful if you're bored on the train and you're like, I wonder if AI could do this. And you're like, can you do this? And you're like, wow! And then, I just think, experiment. Ask ridiculous questions. Ask things that you've got no idea whether it'll do or not. That makes a big difference.
It does, and it sometimes it amazes you that actually the thing that you weren't sure that actually initially worked. Yeah. And we still have them all the time, don't we? The things that you say, oh, Louis, can it do this? I'm like, I'm not sure. Give it a go. And then he'll try it, and something will flash up, and I'll come around the screen like, I didn't know to do that.
We love experimenting.
Happens all the time.
I love that.
But there's a couple of other key things though, actually, like if you're for your business or for if it's something as part of some repeated work that you do, spending a bit of time to, like, in fact, exactly as you said, Chrissie, curating the good bit of content or information. We don't need to get obsessed with mega data stores or really organised data libraries of things, but just the key piece of information. If you think about it, is what would you like the AI to have in its knowledge when it's going to respond? So a bit of time just creating the best of that, and equally a bit of time curating how you want it to respond. So let's say if it's for your brand, what's your brand tone and voice?
God, I can't tell you how important that is, having a brand book in place.
Yeah, we have this concept in our platform of a brand book, which has everything about a brand, from the written style to
tone, artifacts, image, visual,
to the visual to image generation.
That is the difference between a enterprise output in it, like something that genuinely has the fidelity that could go straight out the door as a finished piece of client work. Versus something that you're just like, wow, that's garbage, like truly true garbage. If you ask it to generate an email for me in HTML, you will get garbage. It'll just be basic, like a wireframe, and it terrifies me that most people are doing that. But if you put in a brand style, brand tone, you can do this, by the way. Just take a photo of your website and throw it in and go, develop me a brand DNA from this photo, and it'll give it you, and then throw that in and ask it to generate the email, and you'll be like blown away with the quality of it. But again, it's one of those things that just no one knows.
No one knows until you actually push it and do that experimentation that you're talking about. I love that. So tell me more, because you mentioned to me before about